Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire. So, normally, what you would see me do is sit down and have an interview with somebody, but today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Truth of the matter is, many of you know this, and well, you may not know this, but I am an avid reader. I love reading. I love books. I genuinely do. I love a good story. And some of my favorite stories when I was growing up were the stories in Greek mythology, Norse mythology, and Egyptian mythology, and pretty much any ology I was with. As a kid, I didn't really understand the subtle nuances of the things that I was reading. And when I look back on it now, I understand how a lot of it was kind of messed up, for being honest. It was a little messed up. However, that didn't take away any of the enjoyment I got from it. So, that in mind, I felt like sharing a story with you. And one of my favorite stories in a series I'd like to call Frank Starfire's Library Mythology for Thugs. Title will probably change, but the truth of the matter is, and like I said, these are some of my favorite stories to share, and I figured I'd share them with you. But I'm not going to try and be Morgan Freeman out here. You're going to get these stories, but you're going to get them from me. So sit back, grab a bag of popcorn, smoke a joint, and listen to the tale of Persephone, Demeter, and Hades. And you know the drill. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. If you want to see more of this, please let me know. If you want to hear whatever story you'd like from any mythological stance, just drop it in the comments and let me know what you want to hear, man. I'd love to keep doing this because I thoroughly enjoy it. So, one day, Persephone is the daughter of Demeter. Demeter is the goddess of nature. So she basically had it so that it was always sunny, like, honestly. And Greece is like Greece. I'm not entirely sure of the climate there, but I imagine it's pretty nice, for a nice part of the year. And then, much like the rest of the northern hemisphere, it gets a little cold in certain parts. And this will work to explain why that is. See, the Greeks had this thing about everything had a god, basically. So the goddess of nature, or goddess, and the goddess of nature was Demeter. Demeter was, she was just a mom, and she loved nature. She loved, she was what today would be considered ayahuasca, ironically, and her and Persephone are just rolling about doing their thing, and Demeter is off on doing her goddess thing, and Persephone is just strolling through the woods, like la 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 la, having a good time, smelling flowers, doing all the fun stuff that the daughter of a goddess might do. And all of a sudden, a black chariot pulled by some black beastly horses rolls up on her, and dude runs out, snatches throws her into the chariot and rides off back down where they came from. Demeter now is looking for her daughter sometime later and can't find her, and she's stressed, and she's all this and all, she's flipping out, like, yo, where my baby, like any mother would do, where my baby, you know what I mean? And sure enough, through the grapevine of Olympus, she comes to find out that, hey, she's down in Hades. Hades is the underworld. Let me say a little bit about Hades. Hades is the youngest brother of Zeus. Zeus is obviously the god of the sky. His second brother, the middle kid, Poseidon, he's the goddess of the sea. And Hades, who was considered to be the unlucky one, was the god of the underworld. So basically, he had to take care of the dead. You know what I mean? He had to make sure that the righteous and the good went to the Elysian fields, and everybody else got their own punishment as befits whatever the hell they were doing in life. You know, normal deity shit. So Hades was kind of a sallow cat. You know what I mean? He's what today would be called an incel. He was definitely an incel. But he had a thing for Persephone. Obviously, so of course, he did what any rational human, God would do. He kidnapped her, and in the hopes that she would see past the whole god of the underworld undead thing and love him for who he was. Now, admittedly, kidnapping her was probably not the best way to go about doing that, but what can you do? Definitely not the best way to go about that. But either way, this was ancient Greece. This is what they did. This is how they rolled. So Demeter now is flipping out because her daughter is down in this dark, dank place. You know what I mean? Of course, as he really loves this woman, he's probably got her in the Elysian Fields, which is like their version of heaven within the underworld. It was like exactly as Earth. It was beautiful food, drink. It was like Valhalla, Norse mythology, and all that, except it wasn't just warriors. And anybody with a good heart, they went to the Elysian Fields. Anybody with a good soul, they went to the Elysian Fields. And they got to frolic and play for the rest of their existence, whatever that is. So she goes to Olympus and she demands that Zeus does something. Like, yo, what are you doing, man? Your fucking little brother is he didn't kidnap my daughter, and what are we doing about this? What are we doing? Like, why we got to come up here and ask you? You should have went and snatched your niece back up out of there and was like, yo, what are we doing? Like, come on. And Zeus is like, look, technically there ain't nothing I can do because she's there. He's Hades. He made up. He basically covering for his little brothers. Doing some dumb shit. And the truth is, Demeter was like, nah, bruh. I ain't having that. So I'll tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. Until I get my daughter back, the whole world gonna be as cold and barren as my heart. Now she's Mother Nature, she's the goddess of nature. So she, all the time, I guess Greece was on some old, yay, pretty happy, always sunny type shit, which admittedly is not humanly possible. But you know what? What do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Either way, so now all over Greece, the crops are freezing in the time when they shouldn't. People are dying from the cold. They were not ready for this. They are not ready to harvest their grain. Everybody's complaining. All the people are complaining to Zeus, like, yo, we're dying. We need help. And Zeus is like, all right, I'm tired of hearing y'all talk all this shit. I'm a little sick of it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send Hermes down to Hades to go fetch your daughter, okay? But if she's eating anything, she's going to have to stay. Them's the rules, girl. Now, hold on. These are the rules, Demeter. This is what we're doing. But I can't have you, killing all these people with the cold. Like, it's kind of messed up. They ain't do nothing to you. You know what I mean? People ain't did nothing. Like, let them rock. They fine. You know what I mean? But we gonna get you your daughter back. All right? We just chill. We got you. So, of course, Demeter's like, yeah, all right, whatever, man. I'll see you when you see me. Come on. Whatever is when you bring her, that's when I'm gonna believe you. And sure enough, Hermes went down to Tartarus and gave the news to Hades. Hades, of course, was pissed the fuck. But he had a backup plan because Hades is a scheming little bastard. So what he did was he basically had a little kid in the Elysian Fields kind of play it off like, hey, roll up on Persephone like, hey, mind you, she's been down there for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And she's well cared for. She's not happy because she's been kidnapped. She missed her mother. She will, but slowly but surely, she's obviously seeing a different side of Hades. And quite frankly, he's, doing some changing for her type shit, maybe being a little less violent in his torture or what have you. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he can to get her. You know what I'm saying? And hey, it's working. It's working. Weirdly enough, it's working. Um, so she's like, all right, yeah, nah, but she hasn't eaten anything in the whole time. So weeks, months done gone by, and she ain't eating nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she is a demigod, so technically, I guess that's plausible. I guess, whatever. But either way, so little man roll up on her, and he got himself a big ass pomegranate, like size of her fist, and he a little kid, and he roll on her talking about, look, you hungry? Girl, we see you hungry. You ain't eating nothing in months. And she's like, look, man, I'm not hungry. I know I am, but I can't eat until I see my mom, man. I'm too worried. Da, da, da. He's like, look, I get all that, but don't be going hungry down here waiting. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just gonna be messed up if you do that to yourself. So just here, have some. And he wears it down, and sure enough, she grabbed out like 6 of the little areolas and little seeds out of the pomegranate. Boom, 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 boom. And just as soon as the juice hit her tongue, she's on some, oh my God. Ooh, I ain't eating months, but saying, how you feel when you ain't had nothing to eat in months and you get a taste of something sweet and good. That's how she felt. And whatever. So just around that time, Hermes come. He like, look, come on, girl, get your bags, we out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you bought with you, just go grab it. We good. We out. Come on, take you back to Olympus. Take it back to your mama. And sure enough, she goes off. She says bye to the little boy, but she don't notice that the little boy got the little mischievous grin on his face. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously Hades knows the rules. So she gets back to Olympus. She's reunited with her mom. Hades all of a sudden appears like, whoa, 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 whoa. The rules. She ate, therefore she gotta stay, and she'll be my queen. Like full tilt boogie, she's gonna be the queen. She's gonna be the queen of Hades. And Demeter's like, nah, bruh, I ain't. What are you talking about? We not doing that. That sounds horrible. Persephone, on the other hand, is like, look, mom, I get it. You don't like him. He kind of creepy, but I'm digging him. You know what I'm saying? Kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? He got me down there. I'm kind of all right. I was beginning to enjoy it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was about to, tear it down. Have a good time, but I was hungry. I wanted to go back up here real quick so I can get a bite to eat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eaten months. I'm hungry. You know what I mean? So she done finished stuff in the face. Demeter's like, well, bollocks to that. I don't care. So Zeus is like, all right, look, you squabbling little children. I'm tired of this shit. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. What did she eat? 6 pomegranate seeds. All right. So really 6 pomegranate seeds, dog? That's what we're doing? Six pomegranate. 6 pomegranate seeds. Hades. Fuck, man. Look, okay. So here's the thing. She ate 6 of them, so she'll spend 6 months down there. How about that? Like that's compromise, right? Like you can do that, right? And Demeter's like, yo, look, man, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. That's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna be. But as long as she's away from me and down there, we're gonna be cold as my heart, because I'm empty, and this is how the world gonna be. That's how I'm feeling. So dive that, and Zeus is like, all right, yeah, I guess that'll work. You know what I mean? That gives the people enough time to get their crops in order and store up stuff for, what are we calling this? Winter. I guess winter is what we're calling it. I'm primary woman. All right, fine. That's cool. We'll do that. Cool. Hades, you cool? Persephone, you cool? Demeter, you cool? All right, we cool. Everybody get the fuck out of here now. I'm tired of y'all. Like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Zeus obviously went through a lot in his day-to-day life, But being married to your sister will do that. That's a whole other tale for another day. Trust me. I got you. So Hades got his girl, and Demeter is like, whatever, y'all gonna freeze for a few months. And so now we have winter. And that's the story of Persephone, Hades, and Demeter. And I hope you enjoyed that. This is how I tell stories, people. And I enjoyed it immeasurably. You have no idea. So I've been brewing with this idea about telling these stories for a while now. And, I'm like, whatever, man, let's give it a shot, So if you like what you heard there, like I said, like, subscribe, share, do all that. Leave down in the comments exactly, what stories you might want me to tell. And I'll gladly tell them. And thanks so much for joining me. I'm your boy Frank Starfire. Be sure to check out the upcoming episodes of Just Be Frank podcast. And soon to come, hopefully, the Moonfire podcast, which I know I've been promising for a while. So we'll do about that, man. So that in mind, man. Appreciate y'all for joining me as ever. Like, subscribe, share. One love. Peace.